Hi Virgo, I hope that you're all doing well. What I was seeing in the pre-shuffle looked like you being in a position where it looks like a decision needs to be made. But this can be something where, like, if it is a choice that needs to be made, the part of you that has to make the choice, I think, is more of like a feeler and feeling into things, and so may use more like logic based off of how you feel rather than like some sort of rationale, and then how do you get that to translate to making a choice. I feel kind of like this sort of thing that's going on right now. It's like this part of you maybe feel like another part of you is better suited to be making choices like this, and like the part of you that's available to be doing this or like needs to be kind of online maybe doesn't have an easy choice when faced with a situation like this. So it can be something where like maybe you don't know how to approach it, maybe you don't know what to do, maybe just like something about this is feeling like, I think that if feelings weren't involved it would be a different case, but because feelings are involved it just feels for some reason like I don't know if it's like it complicates things, or it just feels like it's not fluid the way maybe that you would prefer to be taking action here. We're starting off with King of Swords. Usually with King of Swords, there's a conversation that we need to be having. And usually with King of Swords too, we're going to have to initiate it. So it's like a decision that needs to be initiated, a conversation that needs to be initiated, action in some way that needs to be initiated. Something needs to be done. I'm getting all action cards coming out. These are all cards of movement, all cards of movement and action. But I get you also don't really like to make decisions hastily either. Which this doesn't really feel like that, but maybe that's a little bit part of the reticence here. You know what this Knight of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune is reminding me of? Wheel of Fortune has been coming up in most of the readings that I've been seeing lately, so there can definitely be a focus on Jupiter here. This is feeling like walking up to the portal that is a Wheel of Fortune and like tossing something in there. Because it's the Knight of Pentacles, I'd say that whatever this is, it's deliberate and you've been working on this. So it's not just like you're randomly walking and you pick up a stick and you throw it into there. This feels like something that you've been working on, and you're kind of like making an offering to the Wheel of Fortune here. But there's also this like mystery of like you don't know what's gonna spit back out at you, because the Wheel of Fortune can kind of be like an anomaly of some sort within our lives. And so I see that you've been working on something, but the thing that you're kind of like giving this to is this universal cosmic structure that you don't really know what it's going to spit out. What you can do is put your best foot forward and say, these are my efforts that I'm making. I get this again like an offering. Like it's reminding me of making an offering to a god or something like that. But because of Jupiter being the energy that's there, it's kind of like this anomaly, this portal, because the Wheel of Fortune is going to be connected with like these fated cosmic happenings. And so we only have so much control. Like you can control what type of work you're putting in and what you're sort of throwing out into the universe. But as far as what it's going to give back to you, we're not really in control of that. It's like you have domain over your action, but as far as the result, you don't really know what's going to happen. It's like, it's the notion of being able to give somebody advice, so you can give them like the best advice possible. Really well thought out, really strategic, very grounded. And that's what you have control over, the action that you're taking. But as far as whether whoever's on the other end of that is going to be receptive, are they going to listen to you? Are they going to follow through on it? Are they going to throw it away? You know, you don't have control over that. So I feel like something that you have going on right now within your life where all you can do is take the steps and do them as well as you possibly can, which is what I'm seeing you be doing right here. But as far as kind of where you're depositing them and then what ends up happening because of that, you don't have control over that. That's kind of where your reign of power ends as far as we're concerned here within the reading. So all you can do is really what you can do. And maybe part of this is about embracing that. It's about knowing that you don't really complete the circuit here. The cosmic forces do. So there's this, I wouldn't say that it's chance. It's like cosmic law as far as what's going to be happening, but that part isn't up to you. What is up to you is like everything that you're doing beforehand, like before you kind of, this thing that you're working on, these moves that you make, the effort that you put in, that's all your stuff. But as far as like once that leaves your hands, meaning like once the action is done, you don't really have control over what that is that's going to be happening there, because it's just going to be like you have to see what the universe is going to decide is appropriate to do with that, and you don't have control over that, not in like your 3D consciousness anyway. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, yes, but not our egos, not our 3D consciousness. Some of you can be working on a team of people, or like this cycle that you're in right now, it may be more than just you that's kind of like putting something together and working on things. This can definitely be 3 different sides of you. Let's talk about the archetypes of these people. We have a King of Swords here, which is somebody that can initiate conversation, somebody that can be decisive, say, this is the plan, this is what should happen here, somebody that can sort of get the ball rolling. Then with a King of Wands, this is somebody that can kind of like second that voice and say, yeah, and this is how we can do it. And can kind of like gather and organize everybody even. And then Knight of Pentacles, which can very well be you, because Knight of Pentacles is technically Virgo. It is mutable earth energy. This can be you ultimately kind of gathering all of that and then kind of taking that step there. Like you're kind of like last in line to be taking that final step. And then it's like everybody stands back and you kind of see what exactly it is that's going to happen here. On the emotional front, there could have possibly been something that wasn't being expressed, or somewhere where there was like a bit of a disconnect, maybe emotionally. But then I'm seeing something happen here, which feels like being broken out of that. So then I'm seeing somebody talk about how they're seeing things here, the perspective that they have, and like what's really going on, what the feelings really are here about this, and how to navigate through that. And then I'm seeing things being able to be done about that at that point. having Nine of Cups come after Wheel of Fortune, this is leading me to believe that you're actually it's gonna spit out something that you want. So you put whatever this was in, and what you're gonna get out of it is something that you want to some degree. When we have Nine of Cups, it can be really something deeply that you want here. And let me collapse this and just like say that all of this is your energy. If that's the case, I feel like something has needed to be initiated. Like you've needed to talk about something here, but it feels like, actually, let me clarify and see, because I want to know, because I feel like whatever this was, it wasn't happening before. Like it wasn't being talked about, or there was like a disconnect or like a break, and so nothing was really happening. But then I'm seeing something change where it feels even like I've got to do this. This means that there could have been feelings that were being sat on and nothing was being done, or it could have been like I'm not really being present to that, and so now I don't even feel a need to be doing anything about it. But then I'm seeing there be a change. So I'm seeing now it seemingly all of a sudden it's like, okay, now I got to do something about it. But I get there's like this very interesting cosmic timing at play here of maybe you felt like very unmotivated before, and then all of a sudden feeling very motivated. Yeah, Two of Swords is the thing that's clarifying this. I just get like not doing anything. But maybe it was because you felt undecided, like you really didn't know what to do. When we have a Two of Swords, it can be that we're telling ourselves that we don't have enough information, or we're not clear enough on something to be able to make the choice. I'm not saying it was definitely this, but I think lots of times when we have Two of Swords, it can be like we're scared to actually do something. We have a lot of anxiety, like if I make this choice, then what's going to happen over there? And then it can like stop us altogether from doing something. So maybe that's something along those lines that we're going on here. It just feels like not making up your mind. But now I'm seeing things move forward past that point. So I guess you have made your mind up here. And that's when there can be a lot of things that are coming to light that weren't really before. And I feel too like once you clarify this, I feel like you're met with an equal force response to that. Like you take action here, and then I'm seeing there be a response that's meeting you, taking action and saying, hey, this is what's going on. So this can be like, this is what I think, this is how I've been feeling. It can be like making the gesture, and see how the hand is going this way. So it's kind of like the Page of Swords. That's the one bringing this. So this will be to clarify something, to illuminate something, to be like, this is what's going on. This is what hasn't been being said. And then having that Ace of Cups, you see how the hand is coming from that direction. It feels like being met, like, this is a new chapter that you're breaking into, and then you can have a new chapter that's kind of like meeting you. So it feels like there's mutual reception here for what this is. But this is a part of us that doesn't always feel the most... It can feel inconvenient at times to have to clarify things with words anyway. Because this is a part of us that likes to communicate sometimes based off of vibes. So having this Ace of Swords here can be like having to use your voice in order to do something, but then it feels like what you're being met with is kind of the language that you speak within your heart. And so that may just be like a compromise that had to be made there. So yeah, it feels really important that the hand from here is going in this direction and the hand from here is going in this direction, because it feels like there's a meeting in the middle that's happening here. And there can even be a like, fine, this is what I want, which maybe wasn't being said before. What this means too, having Ace of Swords and having Wheel of Fortune, it can be like direction now being clarified when it wasn't clarified before. And this could have been a long time coming too, where it's like whatever this wasn't kind of being thrown into the portal, so you didn't really know what was going to happen or what it was going to spit back out at you. And this can be a time when you actually see whatever's coming out of it come out of it, and you get to kind of take a look around and see what's going on. Again, with the Two of Swords, I'm seeing Hermit on the bottom of the deck, which is your card, and Two of Swords is going over here. It landed right under there. If you're not the one that things may be up in the air for you where you haven't made a choice. If that's not the case, it can be you waiting on somebody else to make a decision. But I see somebody that hasn't taken action yet. There can be a feeling of being a little bit stuck in the energy. This can be something that hasn't been updated within the energy. Like maybe even being a little bit too particular. Interesting. Yeah, whether you're the one that's on the receiving end of this or you're the one... Okay. I feel like I have to show you guys for this to make sense. So this Page of Cups, it's somebody's energy, whether it's yours or the other person's. I'm seeing like offer something. So this is going to be like clarifying feelings, like saying what's really going on. And then there's the possibility of like meeting in the middle and having these chapters kind of collide with one another. But I'm seeing a Two of Swords over here. So this can be somebody where it's like they received... So it can be somebody being like, this is what's going on and this is how I'm feeling. I wanted to let you know. As far as what this person over here is going to do, like whether they want this chapter or not, that can be something that hasn't been done yet. So there can be this feeling of like still being undecided. Like, I don't know if I want to have this new chapter with you or not. And having Wheel of Fortune above feels like it could go either way. You don't really know what's going to happen here. But that means too that somebody can still be deciding what they want. Maybe they feel undecided on what they want. So if this is you, you can know that there's potential there, but you can still be making sense of what it is that you want. Maybe there's an awareness that there's possibly a lot of change that would come with this, or even like determining a sense of direction that feels right now a bit undetermined. Yeah, it doesn't really feel straightforward. I'm seeing someone in general feeling like kind of conflicted here. Or something that doesn't feel easy. Nine of Cups is about what we want deeply. Having Five of Wands are complications, things that make it not easy for us to have that. And so it's effort and whatnot and things that need to be done, or just like complications in general. So even though in certain ways there can be an awareness, it feels like there's something within the communication that needs to be broken down and clarified that hasn't been yet. Because maybe you're like a little bit at odds with this person. And it can also be with yourself too. That can be something. Clarifying a sense of direction. In the very center of the spread, we have Knight of Pentacles and we have Ace of Cups. So on the table, there's a new chapter for connection. There's an opportunity to connect. There's the potential to do so. And having a Knight of Pentacles, this is somebody that, when we talk about the Knights, I think the Knight that would be seen as most deliberate, most grounded, most practical, most well thought out, put the most effort into it, it's going to be the Knight of Pentacles. So having like somebody propose something and be showing up as the Knight of Pentacles, this is the most reliable, dependable, deliberate person that could possibly be doing this. So this really is something where like this person can 100% back up what it is that they're trying to like create. So there definitely is that. But when it comes down to like what choice one wants to make and like whether or not that's one's preference, that can be something that's still being figured out. Like, do you want this or not? What exactly do you want to do about this? But I get kind of like making an effort in a bit of a war zone here is what this feels like, and then you don't really know what exactly is going to be happening. And I mean, having 10 of Swords on the bottom of the deck, I wonder if somebody's history is still kind of haunting them here. And they get locked in their head and they're not like totally dropped into their feelings, and then they feel kind of all over the place emotionally and they're stuck there rather than moving forward. Because I'm seeing that somebody would need to be really open-minded and would need to integrate stuff from their past in order to be fully dropped into the way that they feel, and they may not totally be there yet. So like whether this is you or whether it's the other person, I feel like somebody here is like, they feel like something happened that is still very much present on their mind, and they have a lot of mixed feelings about what's going on. And I mean, if you have history with this person, they can be, something may have gone down between the two of you and they can have different feelings about it, and they may have felt like things got too complicated, so they may have like actually started to like move away from this. That can be what happened. Like maybe they felt like the door got slammed in their face a little bit is what this is looking like to me. Like there could have been an openness before, and then it felt like whatever it was that happened. You know, now I'm seeing this 10 of Swords feeling like something that's like showing up on another person's doorstep, like washing ashore. And then this Queen of Cups is kind of like, well, I don't really know what to do about that or with that. And I feel too like there's this desire here that I'm seeing for things to be uncomplicated, for things to be smooth, for things to be easy. And maybe one feels like they kind of need, like a clean slate is going to provide that. Some of you can be dealing with an Aquarius. Aquarius, I have to think about the energies. Aquarius, Leo, Virgo, water sign. I think that's everybody. Interesting. Four of Cups going in with the Wheel of Fortune. This can be somebody not being receptive and not being open to growth, change, expansion. So this can be somebody that they're not open to things, to there being any sort of change. Or at least that can be what's being communicated anyway. To have Nine of Cups go in with the High Priestess, this can be like what somebody really wants that hasn't totally been exposed. That can definitely be something here. Like it hasn't been said out loud. But yeah, whatever was stuck, I'm seeing there be a breaking out of that and a breakdown of really what's on the table and what's been going on. Yeah, I see something again about needing to move on from the past and that being some sort of theme that's connected with this. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.